So, unfortunately, yesterday I exploded. Because I might not, get along with my neighbor that well, but I didn't have to explode. So, my problem is assertiveness. Like, if something goes wrong, then I should address it that moment in time, not much later. So, I'm just a dumb, nice person, and okay, I'll let you use the microwave. Okay, first, and I'll use it later. Okay. Oh, you're in the kitchen when I'm making something. Okay. I appreciate it if you didn't come in the kitchen when somebody's in the kitchen because there's two. You can only have one person in the kitchen at the time. I should have addressed that. I should address it. Now, instead, being a victim my whole life, I just hold everything in. Okay. That time the kitchen was bad. Now, that time the kitchen was bad. Now, this time the kitchen is bad. So then, okay, I, being the victim my whole life with abusers, I didn't want to attackingly yell at me because that's what I'm so used to. So I shut up and I don't. But then what's really bad is that I explode. So I was in the wrong today, exploding. It's my fault that I didn't address the first time, that it's like a little uncomfortable in the bathroom or whatever. Like, okay, what? Do you have to stand there or something? Like, I should address, like, well, why are you just standing there staring at me? Like, why? That bothers me. Address the little tiny things instead of letting it explode. So then, okay, I notice, like, oh, okay, every time I'm in the kitchen, coincidentally, you're in the kitchen. Did you know that I don't like, another person in the kitchen when I'm in the kitchen? Do you know this? But instead I keep quiet. And then I unfortunately exploded. Which I was in the wrong for doing that, but I'm just naturally not assertive. I just, because my whole life, I always had to be afraid of my abusers, right? And my neighbor isn't my abuser, okay. But I just naturally am that way. So I should address her, each and every time that I have a problem. And whether a person admits it or not, it doesn't matter. That's my fault for not being assertive. So that's my problem. So then when you let it all build up and explode, that's a victim's big problem. Because, well, it looks like you're super crazy. What? It's just a little tiny little nothing thing. I made it a big deal because I remembered each and every little thing that bothered me. So I let things bother me and hold grudges. So my parents did the same thing, and my mom cursed me to death, saying, "You have the worst of your of us, of your father and me. You have the worst of us. Yeah, build up in you and explode. You have the worst of us. You have the worst of us. You have the worst of us. You hold grudges, just like your father and me. You hold grudges. You hold grudges. You have the worst of us. You have the worst of us." Now that was my childhood, okay? So it didn't help me out at all, does it? Yeah. Now my neighbor probably hates me. And maybe she was a little off, but not really, not anything near all of my abusers. Okay, like, I wouldn't even, we disagreed. Okay, like, nothing like my abusers of my past. Okay, my abusers destroyed me, and I don't have to allow anybody else to do that to me. I mean, I could be normal to her and address something like, sorry, I'm in the kitchen right now. Could you please wait 5 minutes while I'm in the kitchen? Or, we have to be in the kitchen separately, so we have to figure out, when's the best time for you to be in the kitchen and when the best time for me to be in the kitchen. Just simple. Man, I was abused my whole life, and I don't have to react to people like my abusers made me react. So it's called indirect anger. So I'm still, pretend a lot narcissist shouldn't be in my life. So just the fact that he's in my life, he's a child molester, just like unfortunately, my parents were. I can't help that. I can't help these insane people. Did the worst crime, and nothing ever came of it. Oh well. But I don't have to carry that on to be indirect anger to another human being, which is what I did today. So actually, this is an apology in the end. I mean, I shouldn't have exploded. And that's my apology, that I did that because of indirect anger from all of my abuse. I mean, just disagreeing with somebody is nothing. And that's all I ever, where I recently stayed at, I just disagree. It's not like a major attack. They're not hitting me. They're not screaming in my face. They're not, all the nightmares that I had. I had too many nightmares, and I started like PTSD, and I did away with that to deliberately forget my past. I don't have to bring my past to the present right now. It's over with. I can't deal with pretending like narcissist anymore. He's awful. He's no good at all. He's the worst. He is my worst abuser. And me just even talking to him, he's just insane. He can't admit that my mom was very, very mean to me. I wish he could. I wish my mom could. I mean, my 20-year-old friend does. She admits that she was a bad mother to her son. Why can't people, be real? But, they're stubborn in their denial. And then I call it a legion of demons. I mean, I have a few, but then there's people that are like, oh my God. Sybil's mom probably had 1,000 demons. I mean, that whole, this 1 in a million ladies, Susan Chappelle said, I could never ever watch that again. I could only watch it one time. It's just too horrific. Yeah, it is. It's horrifying. That's an example of a legion of demons of 1,000. Or Hitler. There you go. How can somebody be that way? Like what Hitler did in the Holocaust. Oh my God. Thousands of demons. A legion of demons. A hell of a lot of them.